Husker Nation, how's it going? Welcome back to the Scarlet and Cream Husker podcast. I'm your host, Mr. B. We've got with us today co-host Mr. Matt Sass, our Swami, our recruiting guru, and as always, former Husker wide receiver, Mr. KC, Kenny Cheatham. Gentlemen, Oklahoma game in Norman, rivalry renewed, 50-year anniversary. Huskers drop a heartbreaker, 16-23. Guys, what did we see yesterday? I mean, seriously, halftime score, 3-7. There's nobody in the world who knows and watches college football that would have predicted that fucking score.
No, not at all. I wish we could have got our offense going a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, damn penalties are just killing us again. But yeah, 7-3. No, most people probably had it like 30-3. So yeah, it was nice to see.
Yeah, I would say so, Kenny. I mean, look, these guys played their hearts out, dude. It didn't start great though. 2 false starts right off the bat in the first fucking offensive drive, and they did settle down. But what were you thinking with those 2 false starts right off the bat?
Here we go again. Here we go again, going back and reverting to what we used to do previously the last couple of years, what we saw with the penalties. If I'm correct, I think we have 4 penalties on that first drive alone. And just watching it, I'm like, hell, we can't even get a snap off without getting a false start. Are we that intimidated, or what's going on? Is the crowd noise? Or, I mean, these are things you should be prepared for. It just put me in a place where I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't going to be good. But then they regrouped, and then they went down, and we took care of business on that first drive. So
exactly it. They did. They seem to have settled down after they got that drive out of their system, seem to have gotten some penalties out of their system, at least for the time being. So, I mean, once they settled down, though, it still seemed to be the everlasting shooting ourselves in the foot. Aside from that, though, first and foremost, I've got to talk about Martinez's play, guys. I mean, seriously, 19 of 25, 289 yards, 1 touchdown. I'm erasing the pick because, look, that was 4th and 18. He may as well have punted it perfectly to the 2-yard line. I loved it. So
yeah, any good defender bats that down anyways to help his team with field position.
It worked. I mean, so I'll wipe that from the record. That was not a mistake. It was just what he had. So amazing game by Martinez. Kenny, what did you see out of Adrian? Has he finally turned that corner?
Well, I think what we all saw is the Adrian we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Being steady, making quick decisions to tuck it and run. And he held in the pocket. He stayed in the pocket a lot of times on some of the throws, which was very impressive. I just wish with yesterday, he didn't take some of the sacks he took. It really hurt field position. But overall, I can't sit up here and say anything bad about how he played yesterday at all. There's nothing I can sit up here and say, well, he could have done this, he could have done that in a negative way. I mean, he played very well yesterday. He had some big scrambles where you thought he was going to get sacked, and he broke loose, and he made plays out of it. His accuracy was better. I mean, he played a hell of a game yesterday, man. I don't have much to say about it.
And what did you see out of him, Matt? Might have been one of the greatest games he's played.
I mean, like, how many turnovers does he have so far this season? 2?
Maybe. And
I think
the Illinois game was the only turnovers I think he's forced. I don't think he had any against Fordham or Buffalo.
He really performed pretty good so far this year. I mean, I saw earlier today that he outperformed Rattler.
Exactly. He outperformed a Heisman hopeful.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't ask for a better performance. My only big thing is, like, when the offensive line doesn't give him time and he has to sack, I'd like for him to keep his eyes up a little bit more and continue to look for a wide receiver. It seems like he puts his eyes down and starts running.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I can't say enough about the guy. He really played good yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And some of those sacks that he had taken or that he took, if you go back and watch the film, the pocket collapsed quickly. they were back there, and there was no way for him to escape either forward or sideways. Only other option would have been backwards, but you don't want to do that to lose yards. So, I mean, it collapsed quickly. So you kind of say, I wish he wouldn't have taken them, but where is he going to go on those?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally watched one where there was no angle for him to go, even on a replay when they showed it. All the avenues were covered, but I mean, he played a hell of a game.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, what really impressed me is I was reading, some articles about the game after it, and they interviewed Martinez, and this really tells me something, and it kind of makes me eat my words about after that Illinois game, saying it was time to move on from him. Again, I was wrong. And this quote this is leadership, guys. I mean, listen to this. Martinez says, our guys aren't into moral victories. We want to win games. Simple as that. There are definitely a lot of positives to take away from today, and we will do that once we watch the film. But at the end of the day, we lost the game, so that is that. That's leadership, guys. He's not comfortable with just how they played, that they stuck with the number 3 team. He says, fuck that. We want to win these. That's leadership, guys. I think he may have turned a corner.
I mean, I'm sure Matt had said, and you have said, at some point you get tired of losing. Yeah. And at some point you're going to get tired of losing games in which you sit back and look, and even while you're playing them, you said, we could have won that. Yeah. Enough is enough at some point. And I think he's at that point currently where he's like, you know what? Yeah, I get the moral victory stuff, but nah, I think he feels deep down they should have won that game. I do too. I mean, I honestly sat there and said, they should be winning this game. And last week, Brian, if you remember, I said, it's going to be closer than what people think.
Yeah.
I said, it's going to be really close. It's going to be closer than what people think.
Yep.
If we could contain them on the outside and do those things, it was going to go down to the wire, in my opinion.
And it did. I mean, my God, we might as well say it, guys. It sucks to single one person out, one player. I got to put a lot of this on the shoulders of Connor Colt. It 2 missed field goals. I'm not sure who they brought in for that extra point that got blocked and returned, but it wasn't him, come to find out. And I think we found out why we don't put in the backup. So, guys, that was the story of the game right there. That with those points, we win the game. So this does fall on one person. Now, Kenny, we talked about this a little bit after the game yesterday, and look, what do? We have to find somebody else. Connor Colt, I'm sorry, kid. You hit your first one and it was great, but then you got in your own head again. So what is it, Kenny? Are we done with him?
It depends on who else they have on the roster, because I really don't know who they have that's capable of kicking consistently. I think for myself, people have to really understand how much the kicking game plays a factor in it. Football.
Oh yeah.
Overall, I think a lot of people tend to overlook it, but it can really damage the psyche of a team. So when these field goals are being missed,
yep,
it changes the next series on how you play call defensively and offensively. Hey, we're up 6. Maybe we can be more conservative on the play calling. We're up 8. Maybe we can be a little bit more conservative on play because we have these field goals and we're up this amount. We're not as aggressive as like Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley was going to try all of his stuff. But when you miss those field goals, I mean, I sit here as a fan watching football on any sport, and I'm like, how's the team going to react to that? And him missing that Oklahoma goes right down and they score, especially in the second half. I mean, come on. I mean, dude, you have to get out of your own head somehow. Because in your own head, you need to go see psychologist, whichever one it is. But someone needs to talk to you, a sports therapist. But you need to sit down and kick.
Yep.
Like someone said, maybe he can only kick in empty stadiums. No.
But all right, Matt, you usually know our depth chart pretty damn well. Where are we with
kickers?
Okay, that just means we ain't got shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know we got Culp and we got the young kid who kicked the extra point that got blocked. That's what I think his name's Keelan Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know where he's at. I mean, he's a young kid.
Who's the young man who does our kickoffs?
But look at the fact that we had to put someone else in there to kick the field goal. That affects the holder, the cadence.
It does.
All of those things are affected by that. When you have a normal kicker, your linemen know what count. They're consistent on, they know how long it takes them to get the ball off and things like that. If you look at it, you have a new kicker. It's almost like putting the quarterback in there. What do you normally hear when you're doing traditional football? Center quarterback exchange.
Yep.
It's the same with kicker when you put it in a new kicker for an extra point or a field goal. They don't have the repetitions together like that.
Guys, it's like a new pair of underwear. It don't feel right away.
Nope, not until you watch it 2 or 3 times.
Exactly. I gotta say, for me, look, it was great to see the rivalry again. There was respect all around on the field. Look, Cam Jurgens, I disagree with the second one he got. I agree with the first one he got. You don't pancake a guy and then jump on top of him like it's a frog splash on the top rope.
Are you talking about the penalty that he got where he was like 40 yards downfield?
No, that was the second one. That was the horse shit one.
Yeah, well, the only reason he got flagged is because of the push at the end.
Yeah, but that was just at the whistle. If you go back and listen, it's right after the whistle.
But I was like, why? What is Cam Jurgens doing 40 yards downfield, still blocking? And I was like, dude, I know he's a freak, but that was awesome. I was like, we need to see more of that. Like, it reminded me of the movie The Blind Side. Michael blocked that dude all the way through the back of the end. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was finishing the play.
Yes.
Like I said, when I posted on Twitter about that with the one call earlier that they didn't call, which he locked into the end of the whistle, pushed the guy, stuff like that. If someone's complaining, they're going to look for stuff like that. Then he had the one which was borderline, but I agree with you, Brian, was a penalty. He hit him, and then he did the same thing the guy did in the first game against Illinois when he sacked the quarterback. That gave them the penalty. But the one down the field, that's blocking. Are the referees considering, can you hear? Is it that loud? He was just finishing the football play. So I totally didn't agree with that. And like I said, it's dramatic. If he looks, the stuff I posted with the holding that was going on the other end, it was egregious. It was egregious. And I'm not a homer. And this is what I tell everyone when dealing with me and comes to Nebraska football. I'm not that guy that's, Nebraska. No. I'm going to call it like I see it. And that was holding. They did a lot of holding, grabbing jerseys. There's a difference between blocking and locking your arm underneath the man's throat. If you do that on the NFL, when a DN or pass rusher is coming in, it's automatically a holding call. And they did that a lot.
And they even had Kenny, I believe you said something that somebody posted on Twitter of a play where Oklahoma scored on, and they had continued blocking one of our guys in the back of the end zone.
It was he slammed him. Yeah, it was the safety in the corner. I think one of the guys was double teamed. I saw when it happened.
Yes,
the other guy,
way after the whistle.
And he slipped. And I was like, they're not going to call that. The ref just walked over there casually, said something, and went in. I was like, wow. I was kind of, okay. Because you can watch it when you first see it and your reaction is, they're bullying us around. They're more physical. But then you start watching some of the stuff and you say, there's a difference between being more physical and bulls going on in the football game. And, like I said, that's non-biased. Like I said, the slamming. Nelson was held the whole game.
Yep.
Oh my God. It was amazing. It was hard to watch. It was frustrating because we couldn't do anything. Let us do that.
Now I'll tell you, I got to say also, a lot of respect to the OU program, the fan base, everybody, coaching staff. But fuck Spencer Rattler. I do not like the kid. I think he's a cocky sumbitch. That fucking face mask he had, I was up. That was the first time I got up screaming this season. I really did. I was like, that's right. Throw the flag on that cocky son of a bitch. Oh, I was so happy to see an offensive face mask. Kenny, you watched the kid while he was in high school in Arizona. What's your opinion on him?
He's not well liked out here. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, not a lot of people like him when he was on that Netflix show.
Yeah, he's not well liked out here.
No, he's not.
That's just the reality of it. Super arrogant, very cocky. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Had the green light at his high school to kind of do what he wanted to do. I went and watched him play a couple of times because I wanted to see the hype. Who was this kid? And I mean, I don't care for his personality. I mean, there's a difference between confident and being cocky and arrogant to where you rub people the wrong way. And he's rubbed people the wrong way. And, you know, I mean, I don't know him as a person, but I don't care too much for his play as far as that amount. I think it's a little overhyped.
Just don't be a dickhead. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah, I agree on the overhyped part too. And just, yeah, I don't care for him. It's sometimes you just got to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Just let your play speak for what it is.
That's how it should be anytime, in my opinion, but that's just me.
Oh, it's all right. He'll get slammed around next year when he's in the pros.
I know. It'll be nice.
I mean, like with certain quarterbacks, man, I can watch them and I mean, you can just see that spark immediately. Like, like, man, they're going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And Rattler, I don't get that same thing. I just don't. I mean, like I said, Martinez outperformed him yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it was great.
It shut him up real quick.
It did. It really did. And the son of a bitch didn't say one thing about giving credit to our team at all in his little post-game presser there on the field. So fuck him.
No, because that's who he is.
I know. Fuck him. I was going to give him some credit if he would have, but nope.
No.
All right. Screw him. Guys.
I saw a lot of mutual respect from both sides too.
There was.
Before the game started, though.
I heard about the little
scuffle where the
refs
allowed Oklahoma players to cross past R40. That's never happened.
No,
that should never happen.
You don't let that happen.
And Trev Alberts, they were telling the officiating crew, like, "Hey, you need to get them out. Come on, what are you doing?" And who's to say that didn't have something to do with Oklahoma not getting called for holding? Because it was all game.
All I can tell you is one thing: that wouldn't have happened with us, because they would have got their asses handed to them.
I mean, you guys were beating Oklahoma back in those days by 60.
Anybody? All I knew was in 1996, we were in the locker room and they said Colorado was out there acting an ass on the end, and we went ballistic, and we were going to go out there and get them everything they wanted, but they held us back in the locker room. This is a true story. Because I think it was the running back, the little short dude. They said they're out there stomping on the end, acting ass. And we were like, yeah, we got to go out here and give them everything they want. See what they want to do. So, nah, that wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have ran up on that. You thought they were bullying them because they were the better team. We can bully them. They're not this good. Run over there if you want to, not with us. Yeah, you would have had 100-some plus dudes on that ass. I mean, that's just what it would have been. I mean, we didn't play that.
Now we got to speak about your specialty here, Kenny, wide receiver position. Martinez spread it around. I mean, it wasn't just Toure. Toure was double covered a lot during this game.
He knew that was coming.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But then other guys stepped up. Xavier Betts was in there. Austin Allen making plays. I mean, who was it? Falk with that huge gainer downfield.
On the sideline,
Seriously. Yes, took a very big hit, held on to the ball. I mean,
Manning too, though, man.
Manning had a great game.
And that touchdown
his grab.
Beautiful.
Laser pass by Martinez. Yeah. Great precision. Only place Manning could get it. Man, guys, Kenny, wide receiver position kind of looks really fucking bright after yesterday.
Yeah, man. They played well. Tight ends, the receivers. They caught the ball. I can't recall a drop in the game. Did we have one?
I think so.
Maybe.
Not that I recall.
No.
I mean, we played great.
They played well. I mean, like I said, Manning, the first catch, he looked explosive. I was like, okay, that's what we've been hearing about. Yep. Let us see it more often. Then the touchdown grab he had, that was a beautiful catch and beautiful throw. Toure played well. He's smooth out there. He's really, really smooth, and it's fluent. It doesn't look like he's running as fast, but when he gets it, he makes those catches. Allen, Betts, waiting to see that.
Wow. He played yesterday, and he was blocking his ass off.
Yes.
They played. I mean, overall, offensively, we played well.
Like, just think what Oliver Martin could have done if he was playing.
Oh, I know.
Was he?
No, dude, it
was out.
the most because Oliver Martin's a stud.
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering where he was at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
out.
still hurt.
Okay.
Still hurt. And it's like,
Damn.
damn, come on. Otherwise, Falk wouldn't even start.
It's like we're shuffling them every week
Yeah.
because one of them is banged up. So musical receivers and tight ends. But I was wondering where it was at. You know, I don't follow the injury reports and all of that. I just said, let me turn it on, see who's gonna get active this week. See who's gonna play.
Game ball to me for pass catchers would probably go to Austin Allen. I mean, that dude played his butt off. I mean, I could eat. I mean, he was blocking all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
Every time the ball came his way, he made a damn sure bet that he was going to take it down. And I mean, he really played good. Like, you want to talk about draft stock? Like, his draft stock might go up after that game.
Yeah, he caught him high, he caught him low, he caught him behind himself.
His blocking,
he played really well. And the blocking, he played well.
Yep. And then the Lincoln native, what is his name? The Pachaska or whatever. Freshman tackle.
Yeah.
I saw him in a couple of times.
Yeah.
We were running power, and he was lined up right with Vokalek. I really like that. It's run it right down their goddamn throat.
And it worked. It was working.
I mean, the running game's still a little inconsistent, but we were straight traditional power right at them.
And unfortunately, we lost a good freshman. Irvin Jr. They said he walked off on his own very gingerly, but he had a cast on his knee with crutches going off after the game. You look at the replay; it looked like something in that knee blew when he went down, and he grabbed that knee right away. So unfortunately,
I thought it was his kneecap.
Yep, it looked like something in there imploded. So
yeah, it was a tough blow. I mean,
yes,
he'll come back from it though. I mean, he's got a lot of time. He's only a freshman.
Yep.
So I know that knee injuries, they're not easy to come back from, but
no.
I mean,
but with the new rule, the amount of games you can play before the red shirting.
That's very true too.
All next year off.
Yes.
Rehabbing and get back better. So don't rush a young fella. Just take all next year off with the rehab to get back 100%, then come back ready.
Yeah, let's build him up. And since he's wearing 22, let's make ourselves a mold of another Divina Sigbo. Would that be all right? I'll take that guy. Yeah,
so believe me, we know how much you love that.
Yeah. All right, guys, we also got to talk about it. We'll close out the episode with these guys because inspiring football the entire game. The black shirts, guys, amazing game. Holding Oklahoma to 7 points in the first half, holding them to under 30 in the first time for a while for Oklahoma. And guys, the only thing they didn't do was create a turnover, which we royally needed. And they had a few shots at interceptions. Mm-hmm. So we need DBs that can come up with those. All right. We got 10 minutes. Let's discuss the black shirts, guys. Matt, what did you see? What did you like?
Phenomenal. I mean, we played such a good game. Like Shenander, I've been saying this for a while. He might be one of the brightest young star assistants on our team. I mean, he came out with a hell of a game plan. Garrett Nelson, he was everywhere. He really was. But, I mean, he couldn't do much because he was getting hold a lot of the game. Him, Reimer, that dude amazes me. He is another player that's all over the field all the time. And for going from walk-on to now being a scholarship player, I mean, you want to say the walk-on program's dead, and a lot of people do. Not with that boy.
No.
So, yeah, it's encouraging. Like, they were picking on Newsome a lot.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, that's what it is. But, I mean, Cam Taylor-Britt, he only had 2 balls thrown in his direction the whole game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's locking things down. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to.
Yep.
But it's just what it is, man. I mean, what is Newsome? Sophomore?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, It's time to grow up, dude. This is big time football now.
Damn straight.
You're going to get picked on, but I mean, I think he held his own. He
Yeah.
didn't play horrible, but they were picking on him bad.
And what'd you see, Kenny? Where was your bright spot for the defense, or was it just all over?
I thought they played really well. I wish we could have gotten more hits on the quarterback.
Yeah.
To rattle him a little bit more. I think some misdirectional plays threw us off a little bit. The touchdown in the second half, we all bid on the play fake. When they all bid on the play fake, came up. He had two guys he can throw it to in the end zone. And I was like, I mean, they haven't been running that well for you to fall for that.
Yeah.
So why did you fall for it? But overall, I think the defensive play calling and the game plan was excellent. Like I said, there was a lot of holding in it. You saw it. It was obvious. It was in your face. Non-biased, non-homer.
Yeah.
This is me watching football. There was a lot of stuff going on after the play. There's a difference between making contact with the defensive player and offensive player, especially when you're offensive lineman, and moving him around. But when I see this, and I see arms here, and I see arms here, yeah, there's a little something going on. But my only thing with the defense is we need to get more sacks and more pressure on the quarterback. Let's make their pockets collapse, as ours did a couple of times. Then I think it wouldn't have even been close.
Yeah.
Because he was hitting little dunk passes, and that's where they were getting their yards from. They weren't beating us down the field.
No.
It was the little dunk passes, 15 yards, a couple where we may have broke a little coverage somehow, some way, and someone got a little pass, 15 yards down the field, and they ran a little bit. But they weren't throwing. I think the furthest down the field was probably the one of the best. If we're going straight line passes, might have been on the sideline. So we held them within, but I mean, they played well. I mean, but we all knew that was going to be the strength of our team this year. We knew that.
Who was our defensive back on that bomb that Rattler tried? Number 11. And it was perfect coverage. It was one of Oklahoma's fastest receivers.
He broke it up.
Yeah. I mean, he almost
Clark.
had it. Okay, Preston Clark. I mean,
Yeah,
that was a hell of a play.
Back we have, he's like 6'5", 6'6", something like that. So
he used every inch of that on that play. It was amazing one-on-one coverage. Didn't draw the flag. Even had a shot at a pick. One of the three we had a shot at. Damn it. God, we could have just made Rattler look like the old Rattler and just picked him off day after day. Oh,
one of those picks could have changed the momentum of that game real
easily.
fast.
Easily.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If this game would have been in Lincoln, we win.
And it is next year.
We would have won that. So yeah, but Rattler won't be there. But then they're starting Caleb Williams at quarterback.
Okay, here's the big question. We'll close the episode out with this question then for next year. Does Martinez come back?
If we make a bowl, I say yes. If we don't make a bowl game, I don't know. I really don't.
I think he might look and see where his draft projection might be. I think, or if he's going to be listed as a free agent or a middle to late round draft pick. I think he has all the tools. I think he's matured. It's all about him. The little things we've always said, working on, throwing, making quick decisions, lessen the turnovers. But as Matt said, if we make a bowl game, if not, go ahead. But then is the next person prepared to step up rolling into the season? So, but I think if he comes back, it will be all hell on wheels next year. So I'm just going to say that and be honest with you. So
if he doesn't come back, then it's like a three-headed race. All through spring training and the fall camp and everything like that. I mean, you're talking Smothers, then Harbaugh or Harburg.
Yeah, Harburg.
And then Torres, as long as he stays committed to Nebraska, he's got some heavy hitting Texas schools coming after him right now.
Oh boy.
So he's got Texas A&M, and Baylor. They're trying to get him to visit bad. And that's what we don't want.
Damn it.
Especially A&M.
Oh God, no. No, not A&M.
Because that's the best school in Texas right now. Just plain and simple.
I actually would agree.
From everything I've read, Sarkisian wants this kid to come up and visit really bad. I mean, over the weekend, they lost, but he had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And this is a kid in high school that can put the ball 60 yards in air.
Damn.
Yeah. He's throwing 60-yard bombs in air. I mean, he's got a hell of an arm. He's 6'6", 240 pounds already. I mean, if he's smart enough to pick up the playbook, man, do not rule him out as a true freshman.
Jesus. I'm on board with that.
Yeah. He actually got hurt. I mean, it's not season ending or anything, but guess what kind of a play he got hurt on? He's running the option.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And he's not a running quarterback.
Oh,
Right.
But he's still he understands the game. He's also getting he's never worked with a quarterback coach until now. His quarterback coach, Tommy Armstrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
So getting him to read defenses and coverages so he can hopefully help his game. So yeah, it's encouraging for Nebraska.
Good
We'll see
deal.
let's see if he can stay away from resisting those Texas schools.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, let's close this out. Matt, where can everybody find you on social media, my friend?
Oh, Scarlet and Cream. Or me. I'm Herbie Husker.
Yeah. I was wondering if you're going to tell people or not. Yes. He is the Herbie Husker on Twitter, guys. Don't forget at Non-Point Husker. Non-Point Husker as well.
Non-Point Husker fan also.
Yeah.
So I got a couple accounts.
Oh man, you got burners. You got burners like Kevin Durant.
I got an account for my Colts. Herbie Husker for the Huskers. So
Burners, baby.
Nothing
Burners.
wrong with it. Kenny, where can we find you as well?
At Husker Noop, HuskerNupe 1911 at Twitter, and the same on Instagram.
All right. Guys, you know where to find me at Knutson_Brian on Twitter. And of course, at the Scarlet Cream on Twitter. Find our page on Facebook, the Scarlet and Cream Husker Podcast. Of course, you find me on Instagram for the Spinoff Pod, and Facebook, just Brian Knutson. So, guys, I will close it out here for myself, Mr. B, our Swami recruiting guru, Matt Sass, and former Husker wide receiver, Mr. KC Kenny Cheatham. Thank you guys for watching this episode. It didn't turn out the way we wanted, but hey, they played hard as hell and couldn't be more proud. So with that in mind, you can find us at the Scarlet Cream. And as always, go Big Red.
And we'll always stir a